Hey guys, I figured I would talk to you about something and maybe get your take on it. So if you work with her more than I have, by all means comment below. I've been having Persephone show up. Now I know 9 times out of 10 when someone shows up it can be Loki yanking my chain. I am well aware of that. But this has been Persephone, and she's been showing up because even though I've worked with her a tiny bit as I work with Hades, I usually don't always address them as a unit. I usually just work with Hades, and I didn't feel pulled to work with her, so I wasn't really addressing her that often. I mean, I'm well aware of their relationship, but I was, not totally comfortable just walking up and saying, "Do you want to work with me too?" Well, she has appeared in several dreams, and she appeared in one last night, and something like Hades was on his throne. And Persephone appeared, and she was really, really angry about how people think he abducted her because she went with him, and how people see him and how they see her because, when she was springtime innocence, nobody had a problem with her, but then when she willingly went underworld and became the queen of the dead, all of a sudden, she's bad and she's evil and everything, and, you don't have to look too far and too hard to have people say they would never work with her because of who her husband is. And she was mad. And she also put forth what she's put forth several times already. And it wasn't like, I'm mad and I'm going to get you if you don't do this, but it was like clearly she feels that she and Hades should be, patron and matron to me. Now you can have, I know some people will disagree, but you can kind of have more than one patron, more than one matron. It's kind of like, patronage, matronage. They're those that watch over you, and, it isn't uncommon to have more than one. Yeah, in a perfect world, we'd only have one patron god, and we'd only serve that god, and blah, blah, blah. But usually, gods come into our life because we need them. And she is a spitfire, and she's a woman that, she knows what she's doing, and you're not going to get in her way. And it makes sense as I was reading up on her. Like, some people refer to her as the Iron Queen, and they do so with all due reverence, because when she's the queen of the dead and people are petitioning her, she can't just let all the dead out of the underworld because people are crying. The story where the wife is allowed to leave if only the husband doesn't look back. Some say Hades was the one that had mercy. Some say Persephone asked him to have mercy. But either way, she can't, every time somebody cries because they miss someone, she can't, let our loved ones just leave the underworld because that would cause all sorts of problems. No, I'm not talking about spiritual work or anything. And she's also protective of the dead. She'll really, get on people if they harm the dead. And she works with Hecate naturally, and Demeter's her mom. And it's been strange because she's been really pushing, because, like, I've always asked every goddess I have around. Like, Bastet said she was, like, temporary mom to me, kind of. And, like, we're more like sisters. We're more like buddy-buddy. And La Santa, sometimes I say, "Hey, mom," and she's like, "Okay," but she's not ever, like, said, "I am the matron." She's like, "I'm your queen, you listen to me." But it's never been, like, matron, because they're more like a tutelary god. They're going to be a god or goddess to teach you. And, Persephone obviously feels I need a shove in the right direction. I would say shove, because she's fierce. She does definitely have that springtime, younger energy to her, but she also has that fierce queen of the underworld energy to her too, and we are getting closer to the time where she is in the underworld. I mean, it's like kind of between right now. As soon as we hit the equinox, there we will go. And she's very, she's very determined. She's very determined. She's sweet when I go to see her. When I go to see her, like in meditation or whatever, she's been very sweet. She's been a very gracious hostess. In fact, even as a queen, I've had the experience of she'll be like, well, I might be queen, but I'll still, provide for my husband and everything, and, we'll sit down to a meal together. But at the same time, if she feels something needs to be done and the queen has to come to you, it's not that the queen's coming to you and she's mad about it. It's she's mad because she feels you should have already did the work and came to her more often, and she's kind of indicating to me I'm not coming to her often enough. And I've kind of been trying to explain to her, which does not work, trust me, that, I have Loki. I have Loki. I have a lot of responsibilities with the other gods and goddesses, and it's not that she's not sympathetic. She has a lot of gods and goddesses she works with herself and a lot of people, obviously. But she's kind of been making it clear that she wants a bigger part in my life, and I just have to find the way to balance the time to work with her. And so it's been very interesting, and it hasn't been Loki having a go at me, because I looked down, I'm like, this is Persephone. You better not be joking around playing Persephone, because if you are, he's going to kill us both. And he's like, no, 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 no. So, yeah, it's different, and I obviously like her underground energy. I like the harvest energy. I like the underground energy. The young energy, I had to give it up fairly quickly in my life. Maybe that's something I need to work with. But, I definitely can relate to the underworld goddess. I can relate to the goddess of the harvest. So, I'd been feeling somebody kind of put a fire under me, and I knew it wasn't Lasanta, and it wasn't her energy. And I knew it wasn't Hades. It wasn't his energy. It felt like a feminine energy, but I was like, I know something's like changing subtly in my life, and I wasn't kind of sure how that was happening. And I get the sense that she does have dramatic abrupt energy too, but it feels like she's taking a more subtle approach. And it wasn't, when she seemed angry, I mean, she was seriously angry at the world, but angry at me in kind of like, why haven't you come to see me? But not in a, almost like her anger was indirect. Like, I'm not going to be really angry at you. I'm angry that this happened, but I'm not angry at you because I kind of understand where you're coming from, if that makes sense. So, it wasn't like I was terrified. At first I thought she was trying to drive me away, but it's like, that's just her personality, that if she feels she should be getting more attention, or, and I don't mean that in like a childish way, if as a goddess she feels she should be getting more attention, as her do right, she'll get mad, but it's a kind of mad that it's like she's mad about the situation. She's not so much mad at you personally. At least that's how I read it. Loki's back there. No, she was plenty mad at you. Okay. But, I can misread things, obviously. So, I just thought I would put that out there and ask you guys what you think. I mean, there's always room. You can always make time for a god or goddess that wants to work with you, because it's not like all the gods and goddesses that I do work with want me to work with them 24/7. It's not constant. Some seem to step back, and you're well aware of them, but they have stepped back for a while, and then other ones seem to step to the fore. So, I don't know. If you have some ideas, let me know. I got the very unpleasant surprise today that I am demonetized until I hit 10,000 views. Thank you, YouTube. In fact, the way they put that was that we announced back in April we were demonetizing. We finally fixed it. They finally fixed my channel so I don't make any money. Isn't that super? Yeah. Thank you, YouTube. I'm glad you fixed that for me. Yay. Okay, guys. I will see you later. Bye-bye.